Hello again. This is Baruch. Here. I've been out in the field working on elevators, and it's time for me to return back to our story. So, you remember that we were talking about this lost princess, right? And her father, the king, says something to her that she should go to a place where there's no good. And then in the morning, he finds that she's not there anymore. And what happened to her? So he sends his second in command, his vizier, they call the Sheni the Melech, to go out and look for her. And so that's where the story sort of left at the last time. A question that I have in my mind is the way that he's going to portray this. He's going to say, he has already said, that the princess represents prayer, tefillah. Now he's going to come and he's going to say that this represents the neshama of the Jewish people. Now, which is it? Is it prayer or is it the neshama of the Jewish people? Or I'll ask you, does it mean that the neshama of the Jewish people is really prayer? So that's where he's coming from, and why would that be? And then he wants to also say that another word for the same thing is called the Shekhinah, which I will tell you that the words are the Shekhinah represents the Malchus of the Olam of Atzilus, that is the Olam which is closest possible ability to be able to relate to the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, which is nothing, beyond our grasp. So it says like this, let me see if I can find the place, close by here somewhere. Okay. The story begins like this now. V'halach l'baksha. So he went, the Sheni the Melech, he started to look for her. And he went Anna here and Ba'ana and there. He went around. So Rav Schick writes on this is a secret. It says Zeso, that it's brought the Tikkuni Zohar. B'kudim Dasei, he says that the mitzvahs that have to do with the right line, with the positive commandments. Inim yamina the saman chochma. They're on the right line. And the right line is called the line of chochma. Now, in Kabbalah, another word for chochma is Abba, or Abba Eloyin. Different names. Also could be called Yisrael Saba. But we'll see how the words are used in different connotations. But mitzvahs that have to do with negative commandments, in Mismola the Saman Ima Ilah, they're on the left side, and this is called Ima Ilah, or also it's called Bina. Sometimes it's called Tavuna. Different names, and the reason why they're different names is because we have different perspectives on them. Sometimes you're looking at this in one system in one way, and sometimes in another way. There's a little piece of Eitz Chaim that I saw today, and they want to say like this. Now he says that he had to look to the right line to see if he had made any mistakes, as Rav Schick is about to say, in mitzvahs that are positive, and to the left side, if he made any mistakes, he has averus, and there are averus that will prevent him from being able to find the princess that are on his left side. So the question is what is this thing about the right side and the left side? Well, in the Kabbalah, the Rab explains, and I mentioned this word before, the word partzuf. Partzuf, if it's a system of the flow of bracha, which we call shefa, composed of 10 spheros. And those 10 spheros are composed of a right line, a left line, and a middle line. So the right line is called Abraham, usually, side of Chesed. The left line is called Yitzchak, was the side of Gevurah. And then there's a balanced line in the middle, which is called Yaakov. So those are the fathers of the three lines. Now the lines expand upwards into realms that are very difficult to conceive of, and that's called Abba Eloyin and Ima Eloyin, and the names that we just mentioned. Now the functioning partzuf, the partzuf that works together is like this. You have a pasuk in the Torah, I guess it's in Parshas Korach, where the staffs of the tribes are put out all together, and the staff of Aaron, representing Shevet Levi, is put in also with them, and it bursts forth flowers. It sprouts. So the question is over here, the Rav, that is the Ri in Shar Tal, the 10th parak. He says like this. He says, when you take the Aaron represents Chesed, Levi represents Gevurah, that's the right side and the left side, and you put them together with a Vav, which is the staff in the middle, they will produce beauty, which is called Tiferes, and that's the flower. So here he says that the Sheni the Melech, he says a Bekuda of the Losa Ase, Ilan Mismola the Saman Ima Yiloah. Go back over those words, Ima Yiloah again. Before a person is going to be punished. And you realize what he's talking about here is that these things exist. There's a right line and a left line. So the left line is punishment. And the punishment's going to come out of whatever is wrong in the equation. It has to be balanced by the middle. So he said, Bodkim Echu Makayim mitzvos shazer b'yamim, that a person looks and sees how's he doing his mitzvahs, the positive mitzvahs, and he's putting forth good things. Ve'echu nizchar b'mitzvos lo asaseh, and how he's careful about the negative commandments. Shazer b'smola, that's on his left. V'zer b'ana b'yamim b'ana b'smol, that's what it means when he turned to the right. And the second to the king turned to the left. And now that he knows that the king has sent the princess away, then he is upset because he realized that punishment is coming. That's what it means. So then it goes on, the story goes on and says, Sheni the Melech Zechat Tzaddik Emes. Who is the Sheni the Melech? When he says the Tzaddik Emes, he's referring to the Rabbeinu Kodesh, Rabbi Nachman ben Fege, who believes that all of us could become tzaddikim and wants to teach us how. Because he has the ability to be able to reach to the holy throne, that is, to a very, very high level, a level that's way beyond physicality, the place where the beginnings of the roots of the neshamas of the Jewish people are located. Rabbeinu Zah brings us Lakuti Maran. The word Sheni is the letters Shin Nun Yud. Adds up to 360, but doesn't go in the way of a gematria. He says that this Sheni Lamelech means that Sharshe Nishmos Yisrael. It's a little play that he makes there, a metaphor, that it means the roots, the souls of the Jewish people. So this is the person who has access to where we come from, to where our inner essence comes from. Because the Shekhinah, which is that's the place of the shorish that begins to appear down in us, is in pain. Veroa Eiksha Malchus of the Gedushim, it's the Eres, and therefore he's able to see how the Malchus, which is the source of our neshamos, this Malchus of Itzilus, as he calls it, the Malchus of Gedusha, is the Malchus of the tremendous Panemius, as we talked before about the onion and so forth, the inside of the inside of the inside, where our inspiration comes from, is in pain, because we're down here. Now, Rav Schick goes into some detail over here. And he says, that is, to start to look for the Bas Melech. And what would he say? Is that the Shekhinah, we're trying to find our neshamos. We're trying to find what our essence are. But look at the world that we live in. We can't find what's really important to us. Everybody's in pain. They can't find what the reality is. Shehin Nishmasim Sheyisrael is our neshamas. Is the Shekhinah is the mother of our neshamas. In other words, we're rooted in there. Rabbeinu Zechah B'Diba Pam, so he wrote one time in Chai Maran, Me'inyan Shemesh HaTzadikim. So this is a sideline that he wants to say. If you thought that how is it that you can help? How can you make a tikkun in this elevator that has things, that has brachas or prayers going up, and the answers and the blessings coming back down to us? So you should work for tzaddikim, for people who are tzaddikim. So that the people who believe in the tzaddik can help them and show them how they themselves can make contact with the Shekhinah. And be able to help feed the lifestyle of this tzaddik. And he says that this is what a chassid is. Tzaddik Chaver B'Kol Derachov, that he was, wherever the tzaddik went, he was a chazir for him wherever he went. Back to the word derech again, on his road. Hainu Masai Zocha Tzaddik Shiyah B'Kol Derachov B'Chinas B'Kol Dar Kecho De'ehu. So listen to this phrase. He says, how do we know that the tzaddik is able to fulfill this pasuk? Shiyah Hashem Yizbarach B'Kol Derachov, that Hashem should be with him in all of his path. Kad Chassid v'kol ma'asav, when he has a chassid with him in all the deeds that he needs to do. And I said, what's to flush it out and make it very practical? So when there's a chassid that's there to help him and all the things he needs to do, he's talking about the chevra of the tzaddik. Shehem nekroim chasidim. They get involved in all the different things that the tzaddik needs to do. They don't have to turn themselves to anything else. They dedicate themselves to this. Now they do for him, his chevra, his group, does for him all the things that he needs. So that's the idea of a servant. He needs a servant. What's that? In order to give him what he needs. What does he need? He also says this in Chaim Aran, so what does this mean? It's good that a man who's a tzaddik, he says a ish kosher, a really appropriate, a fit man, right? He means a person who is really in control of himself. So he should have horses. Why? So he should be able to teach people how did they go into a private place. He says a forest. So the forest is a place where there's no influence in the outside. And there he can speak with them. He can get your attention. And he teaches them how to be misboided, to make by themselves a communication, a personal, intimate communication with Hashem. This is the horse that the Sheni the Melech needs. Also brings like this. Malas hazaycha liten malas the tzadiki emes, a person who has a merit to be able to support and give money to a true tzaddik. Gedola v'yakara ma'od ma'od. This is something fantastically great and extremely precious. Ya'yadesha ozrim the tzaddik im malas, because by helping the tzaddik with money, umoridim imenu as tirdas parnasa, and he doesn't have to worry about the parnasa. So then he has the opportunity, listen to this idea, he says, then he has the opportunity to rejoice and celebrate in the celebrations of the king. Remember Rabbi Mimran, he's the Vegas shir. He started to teach us all about the Vegas. He says that is what the tzaddik does. He is able to be completely and totally subsumed in the Eibishter. And as he's able to bring down as a result of that to us, pure light. So that's the money that the Sheni the Melech is looking for.